Well, life in prison is far from ideal, but it also offers opportunities to learn relevant, life-changing skills. This avenue, according to observers, need to be more honest for the benefits of the society. Kemi Foladeyemo has more in this report.
According to the Nigerian Correctional Service, as at December the 19th, 2022, there are 74,367 convicted and awaiting inmates across its facilities nationwide, out of which 51,617 persons are those whose cases are yet to be determined in court. Life as an inmate in Nigeria comes with many denials, but it's not all gloom.
In my life, I've never face such a thing. For me to be in a correctional center, that's another life entirely.
It's 5 years now since Ahmed's arrest by Nigerian customs officials for being in illegal possession of cannabis amounting to 114.6 kilograms. This occurred around Tollgate bus stop on the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway in December 2017. Upon the assurance that we will protect his identity, we can only use his first name and conceal his face. Ahmed's passenger, who he says owned the contraband items, had told him it was manure when he boarded his vehicle, but bolted away on citing the men of the law, leaving the newlywed father of a newborn to his fate. The 37-year-old tells me he was first taken to the Customs Federal Operating Unit at Ikeja, and after he was detained for 8 days, he was transferred to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, where he spent more than 4 months before his battle to clear his name moved to the Federal High Court Ikoyi. Owing to his inability to meet his bail conditions, he was remanded at the Ikoyi Medium Security Custodial Center throughout the trial. He also utilized opportunities available in custody to be productive.
There is no way you meet a lot of criminals, and there is no doubt about that, but there are good ones as well. So at the end of the day, I was able to, mingle with the good ones. I didn't even tell them that those who are criminals, that they should desist from that. So doing that gave me more opportunity to teach in correctional school in Ikoyi. So I channeled that to teach most of the, those who are passionate to further their formal education.
The history graduate from the University of Ilorin admits that despite his positive mindset at the facility, he was at the brink of pleading guilty to a crime he didn't commit, but he got help from an unexpected source. After a full trial spanning 5 years, the judge, Mohammed Liman, discharged and acquitted him on April the 7th, 2022.
The judge called me a lawyer after I'd pleaded guilty because due to the frustration I'd encountered in prisons, and I said, okay, for me to stay longer, because when you are in prison, you face a lot of problems, and because of that, and I said, okay, let me even decide to plead guilty and to let me have my way out. But immediately when I pleaded guilty, he rejected that. He said, boy, you know that your future is bright. I've read your statement. You are not guilty, so let's allow the law to take its course. That was the time when the family lawyer, decided not to go ahead with the case. So he gave me another a week to go back to prison. Maybe I will have thought over what he advised me, So when I got back, one of the correctional officers actually told me that it's a mess because the prayer you've been praying, so that's the way God wants to answer your prayer. That I should go back. It's like the judge ready to give me a legal counsel. So, and I went back the following week. Then he gave me a lawyer, and that was the lawyer actually stood from where the family lawyer stopped to the end.
Not all inmates are hardened criminals, and though they may not be at the accepted levels, there are measures in place across Nigeria's correctional facilities to positively engage inmates while in custody. But it is also important to prepare them for life outside the prison walls, which for many former inmates is tough.
When I came out, it has not been easy for me to leave the real world for almost 4 years and come back again. When I came out, I do believe that I slept in a classroom for almost 4 months before I could get an accommodation.
The Center for Legal Support and Inmate Rehabilitation assists willing inmates with psychosocial and life skills that help them cope with incarceration and post-incarceration.
You're only aware of people who are in the prison. Oh, we are able to release 20 persons. We're able to release 50 persons. Those 50 persons have reintegration stories. Those 50 persons have reintegration challenges. And that's where we're trying to say it's not just about legal support. Let's get rid of that misconception of, oh, we need to bring them out. You just don't need to bring them out. Bring them out into something that will make them better. Empower them while they are there so that at least there's a foundation that is being built. And when they come out, they can now eventually start developing on that same foundation.
CELSA partners with the Nigerian Correctional Facility to provide effective rehabilitation to the inmates through educational and motivational resources.
The consequences and the effect of incarceration is not only felt by the guilty ones. It's felt by whoever steps into that facility has to face that reality. Whoever steps into that facility has to face the reality. Because if you spend 4 years fighting for your innocence, by the time you come out in 4 years, even a child that is giving birth to just right before you entered, it's already in, almost approaching primary school. You understand what I'm saying? So you're disconnected from society, disconnected from family, disconnected from your means of livelihood, disconnected from everything that you were used to prior to that time. So coming out and adjusting is always a very huge challenge.
Ahmed, who is now employed, is an example of resilience, and he is thankful for the support of family and benefactors. He encourages other inmates to look beyond their present circumstances and take advantage of opportunities to live productive lives. Kemi Foladiemo, TVC News, Lagos.